Hey guys, Crew Blind Wave. I'm Eric.
I'm Aaron.
Aaron. We were both away and out of town when this thing came out.
What thing?
Celebration Real for Star Wars Rogue One.
It's a real celebration.
Shane and Calvin reacted to it.
Yep.
And those guys, they suck, alright? The real reactors
Calvin
are sitting at the table right
like
now.
The prequels.
He doesn't know shit. Shane's probably dirt in his ears, couldn't hear anything.
Right.
I mean, I'm deaf in one ear, but the other one's clean. I don't know how I kind of just didn't watch this thing. Now,
what's it for?
Huh?
Is it just like celebrating Star Wars?
You remember that behind-the-scenes thing for The Force Awakens that we watched a long time ago?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that, but for Rogue One, I think.
Oh. Dude, that almost made me cry.
Yeah, I love that one.
Han Solo standing there, like on set, and JJ's like, ah. Yeah, I'm gonna cry now.
Okay. He just wanted to see his son with his own eyes. Okay, let's watch this thing. Aaron, hit the button. Bobber! Dead! Ezra!
I like that shot. Whoa, it's like World War II.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a moisture evaporator?
Yes, it is.
Tatooine.
Oh, Donnie Yen.
What's shit? It's like Bobby.
Kinda.
It's like the
Gareth
fantasy
Evans.
you always have as a kid. Everywhere is an amazing shot, an amazing character.
For Loom. Oh, those Moncows.
It's about the humanity of it, which just makes the whole thing
Yeah.
Warwick.
real.
Ready? Action!
Your heart's beating, and you're
tank.
actually in this situation.
Ooh.
Stormtrooper tank. What the?
Those are
You
new
get something
troopers.
very genuine that you couldn't have planned.
You'll actually compose shots that if we were on a green screen set, you just wouldn't have known were available.
Whoa,
Pressure's
whoa.
so high. Like, we're making a film that's right touching my favourite movie of all time. But then
Oh,
if you're
that's
too
the
respectful of
one
it,
dude that
actually
came
daring to do anything new or different, take a risk, then what are you bringing to the table?
Oh, sweet.
That was
Oh. Are those the plans?
Oh, it's just in like a little briefcase.
That would
Like,
be
it's
so
like
cool.
a hard drive.
Yeah. It looks like BB-8.
Kinda, yeah. It reminds me of the inside of a hard drive. It
Yeah,
reminds me.
yeah. Oh, I like this. Oh.
Oh, dude. I really want to see him fight some stuff. Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's cool. I like those. Those are a lot of neat faces.
Oh, I love that.
A film crew like this
Fuck.
really comes to their own. That kid, when you
Whoa, that's a neat shot.
grew up with Star Wars figures, it's a bit like just being that kid again. You're sort of going like,
Oh, that's gotta be Warwick Davis.
That was so cool. Ooh, wait.
Yeah. Whoa, Dark Trooper.
Big boom.
Oh, that guy's having fun.
May the force be with us.
It is.
Man,
Damn it.
that's cool. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, huh? That it looks so good for there not being like
Nothing.
anyone in
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
I know.
You don't have Luke or Leia or I didn't even see R2. You know what I mean?
I
like
see R2.
nothing.
I know that they did release a trailer. No, they didn't release it. They screened it only for the celebration audience, and we're not going to get to see it.
Maybe they'll release it at some point online.
Like on Comic-Con or something. That would be cool. But there's a thing at the end that I read, and it's super exciting.
What?
I know. You want me to tell you?
No.
I'll tell you right now. Anyway, you guys all know what I'm talking about because we're not all as sticklers for spoilers as
Me.
Well, I'm also a stickler for spoiler, but I still read some stuff accidentally. Ugh.
Accidentally. Ugh. I just stumbled and then my eyes just read this entire paragraph.
Yeah. But you know what? This both makes me very excited and frankly kind of pissed off
Why?
because there are people
Working on Star
that are
Wars
doing
movies?
that, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know?
All these people, like, this, with what they're doing now with having, like, these Star Wars, like, episodes.
Anthology,
and then,
yeah. And then,
like, just all these,
anthologies.
anthology story stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be so awesome that they could just pull anybody into that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll do Darth Revan, a Star Wars story. If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, oh, man,
You know what I'm saying?
fun.
Anyway.
I'd settle for freaking the Mon Mothma story.
Greedo.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Greedo story. Just
Yeah.
any, just whatever. Tell a story about
Greedo story would be kind of fun, actually.
yeah, the Ugnaught story.
The Ugnaught story.
I'll
do
settle for that.
Yeah.
There's some character that's been in Star Wars that like no one knows anything about. They're just been like more of a background character.
Yeah, like
That's their
Dr.
story.
Azvan or whatever, the guy that's like, you'll be dead!
Yeah,
That
that's
guy?
his
I
story.
quit that guy every day of my life now.
Let's do his story.
Let's do his story.
Why did that guy have to lose his arm? What
and why
happened
is
to
he
him after he lost
and
his
why
arm?
is he a doctor?
Yeah.
Anyway, he doesn't lose the arm, the buttface loses the arm.
Yeah, the walrus guy.
Yeah. Now, okay. There was one. We're not gonna go through this entire fucking trailer. But there's one part I want to look at. By the way, don't you think the new trooper designs that we're seeing just make old stormtroopers look stupid?
They look sleeker. You know what I mean?
They look so good, like the dark trooper things. They look so fucking good.
like more
Or Death Troopers,
more
whatever they are.
intimidating too.
And the stormtroopers are just like, remember us? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did like the shot of them like walking through water. That was interesting.
That was really cool.
You know, I
And
never
it's a
really seen
real
that.
shot. You know, like we haven't seen any CG here.
Yeah.
And that not 360, but like 180 screen they had.
Oh, with like the
One that
moving-
gimbal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. They're using backlit old Hollywood techniques while filming in a cockpit. Like that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like that they're not trying to go super CGI. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
been Star Wars since Disney took over, really. You know? Actually, that's kind of been like movies in general now.
Yeah.
I think that we hit like a crescendo of like what
CGI.
CG is going to do. And now it's like, okay, take all that and combine it with what we know works, you know?
do that
'Cause-
practical and then add
Yeah.
CGI to help. it.
Because The Force Awakens probably had more CG shots in it than all three Star Wars movies combined, you know? But it still had a lot of practical stuff. Anyway, I want to look
and
at
practical
it.
aliens.
Exactly. Okay, this shot.
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma, it looks to me like maybe General Dodonna.
Okay.
But who is the guy beside him? That looks like Jimmy Smits. That looks like Bail Organa to me. Is that Bail?
The guy next to the guy with the beard.
Yeah. That looks so...
It's so
Bail
hard to tell.
Organa
It
from-
could be.
The age would be correct,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, I thought, ooh, Dodonna, let's go back and look at that. And then as soon as I got into the frame, I was like,
Is that Organa?
I think that's Bail Organa. There's
That'd be
no
cool.
confirmation at all that Jimmy Smits is in this movie. But it would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'd be
he's...
appropriate. I mean, if you
I'm
consider.
so glad I went back to the screen.
I mean, they may not cover. You know, it's not lore or it's not canon anymore.
Yeah.
But the Star Killer way of like, you know, the rebellion coming
Yeah.
together. Organa was a part of that. You
Yeah.
know, like a big part, especially with Leia being in there. You know, so Organas have to be involved. It could make sense that he's there.
Yeah. There's one other thing here, too. Okay. Now, I saw a post on Facebook by a guy named Ricky Elliott, right? Ricky from Antoine
Antoine Bandalay
and Ricky.
stuff.
They've done some lightsaber stuff. Ricky's an amazing visual effects artist, and he's a musician. He does all this. He's like a jack of
There's a
all
lot of
trades.
stuff. Yeah.
He had a post, and I remember this shot being from it. This guy that is...
In the white.
Not in the white, and then there's a guy in the background,
Yeah.
and then there's a guy that's in black, and then there's a guy right beside him, right?
Okay.
This guy, if you zoom in, he has orange markers on his back.
Okay.
And if you look at his face, it kind of has a Tarkin shape to it, right? He says the yellow markers on the back could indicate tracker information
Okay.
for when they do CG replacement or CG enhancement.
Oh, so like
So-
tracking them to.
Yeah. Ricky is one of these guys that goes through these things like frame by frame, you know? And I just saw that. I remember this shot and being like, I want to see if I can see Tarkin. But I'm pretty sure it was that guy right there. That could be a Moff Tarkin.
Huh.
That
Okay.
would be interesting. Like, we know that there was a Tarkin in episode 3. They
Oh.
used a actor and did some prosthetics to make him look a lot more like him. Could we be seeing that again, maybe? And instead of, like, prosthetics, maybe, like, get a actor with some makeup on, but then do some, like, digital, Ant-Man shit.
Like who do you think? You guys know or think who the white guy, all uncloaked? What
we
he would be?
I mean, we know that he is, I don't know if his rank is Grand Admiral. I mean, I know he's wearing white and everything, but I think he's more like Imperial security, maybe?
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. I know
Yeah.
that he has favor with the Emperor, and that might put him at odds with maybe Vader, So I'm not really
Could be.
sure. But I have to assume that these black Death Troopers who are in this shot are with this guy as well.
Yeah, they're like bodyguards for
Yeah.
him.
So maybe.
Kind of like how the Emperor has the red guards.
And he has had something to do with the Death Star, of course, right?
Yeah,
Unless
I mean
he-
around the same era, like
I mean, that's what the whole movie's
it
about.
takes place around
stealing the
Yavin
plans.
and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like they're going back and forth from like the Yavin base and
Yeah.
stealing the plans, and it reminds me of like World War II D-Day.
A little
You
bit.
know,
It's got
like it
World
had that
War
one
II.
thing of the trench, and everyone jumping down in and dying, and
Well, I mean, even the blasters of the troopers and Han Solo's weapon and stuff like that, they're modified either World War I or World War II weapons, and they just like put some extra shit on them, you know. But like they wanted that style to it.
yeah.
You know, the Empire is clearly based, especially in the Imperial uniforms. Like, you know, they have some like Royal Navy look to them, but they also have some like Nazi Germany look to them.
Yeah,
So
sure.
anyway, oh man, I just love Star Wars.
Any anthology story they could tell would be like, you know, watching like Saving Private Ryan and different stuff like that, where like you get so attached to like these soldiers that are doing all this stuff. It'd be neat if they went back and took like the clones.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like they did in the animated series.
Exactly.
If they did
Rebels.
something like that and made like a movie of like these clones that like you're just getting attached to these random,
Yeah.
all looking alike,
Yeah.
sounding like clones, you know?
I mean, I had heard a concept artist who was involved in Lucasfilm said that the Han Solo anthology movie, like young Han Solo, he said it's the best Star Wars script he's ever read, and he's been involved since the beginning.
That'd be, oh man,
You know,
that'd be so good.
that'd be interesting.
Even the reverse of that and taking like stormtroopers and maybe seeing the stormtrooper side of things or something. Maybe they don't all agree, but they follow orders.
We kind
or,
of got
you know,
that
whatever.
with Finn a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
but is he the only one to ever done it?
I don't know. J.J. Abrams said the one that he would want to see would be a Knights of Ren movie.
That could be cool.
That
too.
would be cool. What would you want to see?
I don't know. I like the idea of like the clones,
Yeah.
like actually getting just a story about clones, because I
Mhm.
enjoyed those stories so much from the Clone Wars series.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what I would pair that with though?
Hmm.
I would have that story of the clones, but specifically Ahsoka and Captain Rex
that could
at
be
the
cool.
events of Episode 3.
That could be neat.
Because I don't know if you saw it, but Dave Filoni and Ashley Eckstein and one of the story group guys, Pablo Hidalgo, they did a panel at Celebration called the Lost, like Ahsoka's Lost Tales or something like that, and they kind of explained like this is what we were going to do for Clone Wars. We were going to have Ahsoka actually have to work with the Jedi again after she had come back, and they're fighting Maul and Mandalore, you know, and then Yoda comes on and says, you know, Obi-Wan, Anakin, we need you. The Chancellor's been kidnapped.
And that leads into episode 3.
And then what happened? And like they're talking about this in the panel, so it's not spoiler, you know. But I want this movie. But they're talking about it, and Anakin's like, "I'm sorry, Ahsoka, I have to go." And Chief Keel's kind of, you know, like left alone again, you know. And he's like, "Who said anything about leaving you alone?" And the door's open, and it's Rex, and it's the half of the 501st, and they're
leaving
all
with Ahsoka.
with Ahsoka, and they all have orange markers like her markings on their clones. Oh, I get emotional talking about it. That's how much I want to see that movie.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be nice that they actually fill in that that little area, because like they're not gonna go back to animated Clone Wars, you know.
No.
But to give a movie version of that
But you know that would mean that Rex was with Ahsoka at episode, you know, Order
during
66.
Order 66 happened. Yeah.
But is she a Jedi? Would she be under Order 66? You know?
yeah. If she was still kind of left,
Yeah.
you know, she was just there helping, but she wasn't like a Jedi.
yeah.
Maybe it would like Order 66 kill all the Jedi. Well, I'm not a Jedi. Okay, we won't kill you.
Yeah. I know.
Let's
right?
get this stuff out of your
Yeah.
head. You know, maybe that's kind of like a loophole they'd have. That'd be
Yeah.
a fun way to go about it. Maybe.
It would. Dude, I can talk about Star Wars all day.
Yeah.
We're watching a Rogue One celebration reel, and now we're talking
We
about
talk about everything.
Ahsoka. Yeah. This isn't the place to talk about it, but isn't it so weird? Like, can you imagine? Can you remember? Like, how did you feel when you first heard of and saw Ahsoka?
Of Ahsoka?
We were like,
I mean, that's just like,
I started being
cool.
like, oh, Anakin has a Padawan. I don't like that.
Well, I do
it's
remember,
a
like-
little girl. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw her, I'm like, who cares? But then I see her again, like in Shizm Rebels. I'm like, Ahsoka's here. Thank God. You know?
Well, I remember thinking about like, why did they bring in like he doesn't have a pattern right now. He should.
Yeah.
Like it's never been mentioned.
No.
Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like where has she been? And like all right, and then like you grew attached to her.
Yeah.
As much as I grew attached to like Rex and Cody.
I know.
You know, and fucking Fives and those guys.
Yeah.
That just random clones I never cared about before.
I mean, I have absorbed all of Star Wars, and she is maybe top 5 favorite characters.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy thing to say because there's a lot of really good characters in there.
And she's not related to any movies or anything.
No.
It's just from that Clone Wars series
Yeah.
and now into.
And you know, there's a lot of what I consider to be just fuckheads, assholes that are like, you know, Star Wars is being too, you know, plenty of girls now, and you know we have a girl lead in Force Awakens, and now Rogue One, and there's Ahsoka, you know. But that third one, I've never really heard anybody say anything bad about Ahsoka.
But Ahsoka, no.
Like in the beginning, definitely, but now it's like she's not just a strong female character; she's just a strong character.
Yeah.
Like I fucking look up to her. Like I want to be Ahsoka when I grow up, and I'm fucking older than she is. You know what I'm saying?
But she's a good character, and there's been lots of like female characters that I've enjoyed more than some of them. Like I liked Shakti and Ayla Secura a lot.
Absolutely.
More than I cared about probably like Kit Fisto and Kiadi Mundi.
I like Kit Fisto. I'm not gonna do crazy.
I mean, he did stand up against the Emperor for a little while.
A tiny, longer than the other guys.
Yeah.
And
I like Plo Koon more though.
I do like Plo Koon more, as does Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is a huge Plo Koon fan. But Kit Fisto had that awesome water fight.
Yeah.
You know, remember that? He stood up against Grievous too.
Yes, he did.
And he's voiced by Phil LaMarr.
That was the one. Wasn't it Kit Fisto with inside the Grievous, like him and his Padawan, right? He was a Mon Cal. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say probably my favorite female Jedi though was Adi Gallia.
Adi Gallia's good.
She's probably my favorite.
Yeah, female Jedi. I mean, it's hard for me to divorce myself from the old EU because there's a lot of characters there that I like.
See, I don't know them as well.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Bastila is pretty good too.
Ahsoka is a female Jedi, whether she says it or not, regardless of what color that lightsaber is.
True.
I mean, she's a Jedi to me.
Yeah, Ahsoka's really good. I like her too.
Yeah.
But I think I grew attached to Adi Gallia during the Jedi Starfighter games.
No, I get you.
During that time. It was awesome.
I forgot about that game.
Those are good games.
Those are really good games.
The Blue Starfighter was fun, but I played a lot of Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah, you're right. Man, shit. Okay. All right. That's. Well, I think. Is there any? What else we need to mention? Like, there's the Legacy comics. I like those. I like KOTOR. I think we kind of just went over every aspect of Star Wars.
I even mentioned about Bastila.
I know.
You talk about the Revan movie and stuff.
Yeah.
We talk about like everything.
Everything.
Before, after, during.
I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I gotta say. Down in the description, all links for our social media. blindwave.net has
stuff.
And we'll see you guys next time. I love Star Wars. I'm Eric.
I'm Eric.
Hit the button. Dark!